Hey team, just wanted to, I'm just doing some research on interests for Facebook ad targeting at the moment, and I just wanted to show you what I've learnt. I'm not too sure how many of you were on Success Sunday's call. I think it might have been last week, but they showed us how to the easiest way to research our interests. And the reason for doing that is it's a way of researching the interests from, say, for example, we've got a big name like Tony Robbins. We can go and research the interests that people are also follow. So if they follow Tony Robbins, they also follow other categories, other interests, etc. And it's a way of finding out those interests that people also follow that also follow Tony Robbins, and finding out the audience size as well at the same time, all from the one screen in your ad manager. And it's a really good way of researching, because what I learned was that if we are all targeting Tony Robbins, which is a great interest to target, but when it comes to ad spend, the more people that are targeting that interest, being the big name, then we're paying more for our ad placement, because the more people bidding on that interest, the more it's going to cost us for that ad placement. So this is a really interesting way. I had no idea this even existed in our ads manager, and so I just wanted to share with you. I was hoping to do it on a Thursday night call or something like that, but that's cool. I'm happy to do this little video because it's such a short little thing, and I can show you how to do that in like 5 minutes. So I'm just going to share my screen. Share my screen, and I think it's this one. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so what you need to do to find this is if you're in your ad manager and you click up here to the little 3 lines at the top, if you're not already in there, you're likely to be sitting in your ad manager account, which looks like this when it loads. Yep, perfect. So if you click on the little 3 lines up here and go down the bottom here to all tools and go to audience insights. Now we have to select everyone on Facebook. Make sure you just select everyone on Facebook. I don't know the reason for that. We were just told to do that. And then over here, so you get all your stats here, so you can have a little look at your demographics of the amount of people. Like this is currently set to United States, so you can have a look at your demographics, percentage of women, what age groups they're in that are on Facebook in the United States, relationship status, education level, and then down here it will give you what category of job that they're in. So what I've been doing initially, I'll just show you, is looking at Australia, and I'm going to look at these one country at a time, only because that's kind of how I've learnt to target, is one country at a time. We don't stick them all in together. So you can, if you pop in Australia, go across here to page likes, it'll give you a generalised top categories of people on Facebook in Australia, and it says here 15 to 20 million monthly active people in Australia. So that's, you know, not very big when you consider, what is it, 1.9 or 2 point something billion people on Facebook every day. So then you can come down here to interests. Now, the example that I gave was Tony Robbins, so we'll pop in Tony Robbins. Oops. pop in Tony Robbins, and what it will come up with here is the top categories of people who follow Tony Robbins, who also follow these categories. So you can see up here the new audience number. For people who follow Tony Robbins, it's 400 to 450,000 monthly active people follow Tony Robbins. So we have other categories like Success Resources, The Colour Run, Audible, stuff like the Barefoot Investor. Down here it'll also give you the relevance score for each page or page like that, and I think it's got something to do with how likely your audience is to like that given page. So what I did from here, so I do like a little mind mappy thing like Anne showed us how to do, and I do it the same with targets. And I've just like put Tony Robbins, I don't know if you can see that, put Tony Robbins in a circle here, and then I've done like a little thing out from that. So from Tony Robbins, I'm going to come up with other interests that I can target. Another tip that they gave us is not to target anything less than 70,000 people, and not to target anything over 2 million. So between 70,000 and 2 million is like a good range of interests to target. So say, for example, Success Resources, I'm just going to pop that down in here and see if it comes up. Some of them won't come up. Some of them are just pages that they've liked and they don't have enough following yet to actually get an interest category for targeting associated to them. So that one doesn't actually come up. The next one I did was The Colour Run. So I've popped that down in my little mind map out from Tony Robbins, and I've written down 300 to 350K and highlighted it. So that's a really good targeted interest that a lot of people probably aren't targeting in their Facebook advertising. So that's a really good one to target. The next one that I was looking at was Audible. Audible.com, that's 500 to 600,000 monthly active people. So that's another really good one. And the other one I was looking at was Barefoot Investor. Oh, sorry, I didn't take Colour Run off when I was looking at that. Audible, sorry, it's 250 to 300K. And then I'll just delete that. And you could do these for, if you're just targeting women, you could just do these for women as well and see what the demographic of men to women is that actually like these interests too. So say, for example, Barefoot Investor, we've got 200 to 250,000 monthly active people. So that's a really good interest to target for your Facebook advertising. But say I target just women, then if I click on here and just do women only, it drops it down to 150 to 200K. So I'm going to write down women, 150 to 200K. So I know that that's still within my range of 70K to 2 million. That's another interest that I can target. And basically what you're doing is you're just getting this list of targeted interests that when you go and do split testing and stuff like that, you can just, pick one from your list and off you go and cross that off. And you're always, then you can, in conjunction with that, you can see who is, like how your ad performs for each of those interests, and you can write the details down in relation to that so that next time it did really well or it didn't do really well, and you can retarget that again later. The other thing, if you've done Facebook Ads Mastery, they actually give you a list of 7 proven home business interests to target. And I just wanted to show you this because that's all well and good in the United States, but my thoughts were that there's some of these people like Russell Brunson and Ray Higdon and people like that aren't that well known in Australia yet. So they don't actually have in Australia as big a following. So if you're targeting these people in Australia, your ad is probably not being seen by very many people because they have such a small following. So, for example, if I put in Russell Brunson in Australia, the following is only 10 to 15,000 people. So I personally wouldn't target any of my ads to Russell Brunson because it's not going to get you on many news feeds. However, in the US, if I go back here and I type in the United States, if you're looking at this when you do your research for the United States, we've got 200 to 250K people, monthly active people following Russell Brunson. So that's a really, really good targeted interest for US, not so much for Australia. So I hope that gives you some idea of how to go and do your research around targeted interests for each country. Yeah, so I hope you got a little bit out of that. And I've got a lot of research to do myself. They did say on the Success Sunday webinar that if you can have like a list of 30 people or 30 interests, to just do your research and have about 30 ready to go. And that'll keep you going for probably up to 12 months of, split testing. So, yeah, it's a really cool way, I thought, to do your research on targeted interests. So have an amazing weekend, people, and talk to you soon.